This video on FPL TV is very proudly sponsored by OneFootball. With a rating of 4.8 out of 5 from now over 100,000 reviews on the App Store, OneFootball truly is the biggest and best app for football news, scores and stats from hundreds of leagues all over the world. As for FPL, you can choose to follow every team in the Premier League on OneFootball and then get live updates from all the goals and assists every game week. Download it now completely free using the link in the description box below. Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV. Before looking to this weekend's Game Week 16, let's see how the side performed in the previous game week. I made just the one free transfer last game week in what was a rare transfer between the sticks, with David De Gea replacing Jose Sa at Wolves. To my delight, it was a transfer that paid off instantly, albeit gaining just a few points, with United keeping only their third clean sheet of the season. United did look much improved in that fixture and only conceded 4 shots inside the box during the game, the second lowest of the weekend, so some decent signs there for Ranić's first game in charge. With Rafael Varane returning from injury soon, and with United having a fantastic run of fixtures coming up, hopefully a few more differential clean sheets could be on the way. With this goalkeeper transfer, I did get quite fortunate though, because the outgoing Jose Sa was just moments away from a clean sheet and bonus points of his own. However, thanks to that late goal from Liverpool in the 94th minute, that certainly made me much happier about the transfer. In that game, it was Mo Salah who provided the last minute assist, so he continued his incredible run of non-blanks in FPL, whilst elsewhere in the game, Alexander-Arnold brought home a very pleasing 9-pointer. Although getting points from Trent don't do much in terms of ranking, it's certainly nice to have his 9-pointer vindicate my decision of selling Harry Kane for him on a -4 2 weeks ago, who blanked once again against Norwich. In selling Harry Kane 2 weeks ago, it also meant sticking with his teammate Son Heung-min instead, and that too has proved to be very fruitful over the last 2 game weeks, with the South Korean bagging 21 points in that time. Lovely stuff. The 13 points from Son against Norwich was the key moment of my Game Week 15, and a real turning point, changing what looked to be a very poor game week on Saturday into a very respectable one. The only other return of the game week was Rafinha's assist against Brentford, and in that fixture, frustratingly, Ivan Toney missed out due to illness. So in came Josh King from my bench automatically with a fairly unsurprising 1-pointer in that tough fixture against Man City. So for Game Week 15, thanks mainly to Son's 13-pointer, I finished on a score of 53, and with that another small green arrow of around 30,000 places. That takes me to 206k overall now, and although that's still not a position I'm happy with, it is on the other hand my second highest rank of the season to be fair, with only my Game Week 1 rank being better. All I can hope is that I continue moving in the right direction, and to be near the 100k mark at the halfway point of the season around Game Week 19 would certainly be a very good platform to build on. Let's move on to Game Week 16 now and look at my current squad as well as some potential transfer moves. Also, if you do enjoy the content here at FPL TV, then please consider showing your support for the channel by leaving a like and most importantly getting subscribed. You can also hit the notification bell so you always know when a new FPL TV video goes live. Now heading into Game Week 16, it looks to be a very difficult and potentially messy one for me, with lots of reports and information regarding some of my players still up in the air. Following Son's impressive performance over the weekend, and with him set to face Brighton up next, who were going to have the likes of Dunk, Duffy and Webster all missing for that fixture, the thinking was I've got to hold Son for that one, and instead look to address other issues in my squad, particularly Rafinha and Jimenez, who both face very difficult away fixtures. However, unfortunately, this Tottenham-Brighton fixture has now been thrown into some serious doubt due to a big outbreak of the virus in the Spurs camp, so they could be looking at yet another postponed fixture, and if that happens then my hand could be forced into selling Son this game week. To be honest, this Son and Tottenham news is not an ideal situation for me, because I already had other issues in my side to fix, such as Rafinha away to Chelsea and Jimenez away to Man City this week, both players of which have poor fixtures in their upcoming game weeks as well. Not to mention, I've also got an array of absentees building up on my bench, with Ivan Toney also being hit with COVID and Ben Johnson suffering a hamstring injury over the weekend. Frustratingly, my squad depth has taken an absolute battering in just the last few days, and that could really hurt me over this busy Christmas schedule. And if any other player does miss out in Game Week 16, then Burnley's Brownhill is currently my only fit sub as things stand. If I am forced to sell Son this game week, then what it does do is open up the option to accommodate Cristiano Ronaldo up front ahead of United's very kind fixture run. And this can be done by replacing Jimenez for a -4 hit, which is a move I discussed in my previous team selection video. And should the Tottenham fixture in fact be postponed, then that's most likely the route I'm set to take. By upgrading Jimenez to Ronaldo, it would then give me 6.8 million to spend on a Son replacement, and therefore on current form and looking at the fixtures over the festive period, then it's Jared Bowen at 6.5 who looks to be an ideal replacement at that price, with unfortunately not enough money in the bank to go for a Man City midfielder instead. Granted, this would still leave me with Rafinha away to Chelsea this week, not ideal, but this potential Tottenham postponement and also Ivan Toney getting COVID was once again out of my hands, and with only one free transfer available, well, there's only so much I can do. In fairness to Rafinha, he still remains in good form, so although I was looking to sell him for a Man City midfielder like Bernardo Silva this week, Rafinha is by no means a bad option to own and could still return points. And considering I've got 2 Chelsea defenders facing him this game week, well, at the very least, he can be my insurance policy should Leeds score in that one. Hypothetically, if the Spurs fixture wasn't postponed, then I was planning on moving Rafinha on this week to Bernardo Silva, and then upgrading Jimenez to Antonio instead. And with those moves, I much prefer the balance of my squad overall. However, this Tottenham news is forcing my hand a bit, and the chance to bring in Ronaldo ahead of Norwich may be too tempting to pass up. So that's all my transfer options discussed for this week, but like I said, with all this information up in the air, I'm going to have to wait and see on this one, wait until closer to the deadline and see how all this develops first. Depending on what happens can certainly shape my transfer activity. For the captaincy this game week, had I made the transfers of Antonio and Bernardo Silva, then the armband would almost certainly stay on Mo Salah. However, if Son does make way and I do accommodate Ronaldo this game week, then he'll come immediately into the conversation for the armband. And to be honest, I think I am leaning towards handing it to CR7 should he come in. Of course, that's always going to be risky, with Mo Salah now not having blanked since game week 2. But it's not so much that I think Salah will blank, but more the question of can Ronaldo outscore him in this one? And in this fixture against Norwich, you have to feel it's a good possibility. As we found out last game week, those that were brave enough to give the armband to Son against Norwich were certainly rewarded there. For me personally, my thinking is I've just been really impressed with Aston Villa in the last 4 games since Gerrard took charge. And we all know how big of a game this will be for him on his return to Anfield, and surely he'll get his players right up for this one. Ultimately, a great way of climbing up the ranks is by nailing the captaincy and making well-timed, calculated risks with it, and by backing a well-rested Ronaldo, arguably the greatest ever goal scorer against bottom of the league Norwich this week, does feel like a very good opportunity to go against the crowd. Whether I go through with it or not, well, that's still yet to be seen. But if Ronaldo does come into my side, then I'm certainly leaning towards it. So that's all my transfer and captaincy thoughts heading into Game Week 16. But like I said before, I'll have to wait for more news on this Tottenham fixture first before deciding what to do. My transfer plans could certainly change based on this information, so if you are keen to see the final team selection and transfers, then as per, I'll post the team over on Twitter shortly before the Game Week deadline. With the following game week having yet another quick turnaround, where Game Week 17 will start on Tuesday, unfortunately, it's likely I'll be away from the computer on Monday, and therefore probably won't be able to produce a Game Week 17 team video. If that is the case, then once again I'll post any team updates over on Twitter, and we'll then be back a few days later for a team selection video for Game Week 18. Good luck to you all for the upcoming game week, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all very soon.